people, welcome to another episode of Grand Football Weekly. It is your host, Mr. Chicks. We are back and it is Game Week 38, guys. Woo! It's been a long season. Like I said last week, we already know who's winner of the Premier League this season. We already know who's relegated. But the European spots are still up for grabs, and so nicely it's gone to the last day of the season. Isn't that great? At least there's something to look forward to. Who's going to qualify for Europe? Who's going to be in the top five? Who's going to make the Conference League? Who's going to make the Europa League? And before we carry on, congratulations to Crystal Palace for winning the FA Cup. Wow, first trophy in their history. Wow, that's beautiful, man. They played well. Although there were some controversies with the goalkeeper, not getting sent off in that game, but they still deserved the win because after that, there was still a lot of time for Man City to actually come back and win the game, and they didn't. So, well done to Crystal Palace for holding their own, and well done to Oliver Glasner. He's doing some amazing work in that team, getting them playing good football. And you can see from even after winning the FA Cup, they were still able to win their game on Tuesday. Normally, these kind of games, you say, they're definitely not winning that but they've got good mentality and they made sure they stayed focused. There's still games to be played. There's still, matches to be won. They want to finish as high as they can before the end of the season. So everyone's not going to say, well, you were in this position and you won the FA Cup. It's not great, but they're playing well. They did well, so credit to them. So yeah, Game Week 38, it's been a long season. So look out for our next video, guys. Look out for our next video. I'm saying it now, where we'll be looking at the team of the season. Be looking at the team of the season, who has made your top 11, who has made our top 11, sorry, not your top 11. You can leave comments in the comment section when that comes out if you disagree with some of the players there. But we, as the Grand Football Pundits, we're going to come together and we are going to vote for who our top 11 in every position is this season has been. So watch out for that video coming out soon. Yep. Okay. Game Week 38. There's some interesting games in here to look forward to, but we'll start with the game which is on here first. Bournemouth versus Leicester. Bournemouth versus Leicester. There's not much riding on this game because I don't think Bournemouth are able to qualify for Europe now, or even if they are, Leicester's relegated. So they'll probably be on the beach now just saying, okay, let's, get ourselves ready for what we need to do in the Championship to try and get ourselves back. So that's how I see this game. It will be a not so great a game, but obviously it is a game, so they would come out and play. But I see Bournemouth, because they're at home, they would want to sign off on a high, and I see them beating Leicester. Leicester might put up a little fight, but I feel not great a fight to cause any problems. So I see Bournemouth winning this one 3-1. And I've got some of my pundits who have submitted their predictions already. And Osita has also gone for Bournemouth to win 2-1. Chris has gone for Bournemouth to win 3-1. And Yema's gone for Bournemouth to win 2-1. So everybody is on the same page. Everybody believes Bournemouth should win this one. But we'll see how that one goes. Yeah. Okay, the next game, Fulham versus Manchester City. Fulham versus Manchester City. Man City will be hurting from, they came back after that loss in the FA Cup and won on Tuesday in the game against Bournemouth. So I'm sure this game they would want to also finish on a high and make sure they get things sorted, because they're still trying to make sure they're in Europe next season. If they don't win this game, it will probably be crazy if they drop to 5th or 6th. So they would want to make sure they get their own job done and not worry about the rest. So yeah, I see Man City winning. It'll be a slim win though, because Fulham are home and they've been great all season. They've been playing some very good football and they've got a slim chance of Europe as well, I believe. So they would probably come out in this game and want to end on a high. Every team playing at home in this final game of the season, I'm sure they would want to give their best for their fans, to sign off on a high. So this game, in as much as Fulham's at home, I just feel that Man City might just have that little bit, edge over them. And I see Man City winning the game 2-1 away from home. And Osita, Chris and Yema all share the same sentiment. In fact, they've all gone for 3-1 to Man City. Chris, Osita, and Yema have all gone for 3-1 to Man City. Interesting. So we'll see how that one pans out. Ipswich versus West Ham. Relegated Ipswich. They would want to thank their fans in this game and say, look, I know we didn't deliver what you guys expected, but let us win this game to give you something to cheer about of our time in the Premier League. So this game might be one of them ones where Ipswich just turn up, and West Ham are a team you can't really predict. Sometimes away from home they're very good, but sometimes they're very, very poor, and you're not sure which West Ham team would turn up, because they might have some of their mind already on the beach, because they're not fighting for anything and they're not trying to stop any team from getting anything, because Ipswich already relegated. Yeah, okay. So I am going to say Ipswich is going to win this one 1-0. And I would say 1-0 because I feel both teams nothing really to play for, but there might just be that little brilliance and someone gets a goal for Ipswich, maybe Delap or Hutchinson or Hurst, whoever it is. But I see them winning 1-0. And Osita and Yema think differently. They think that this game will finish in a draw, 1-1 draw. And Chris thinks West Ham would win. Chris thinks West Ham would win 2-1. So I've got a home win, Chris got an away win, and Osita and Yema's got a draw. So everybody's opinions different on this one. So we'll see how that one comes out. Then we move to Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Again, nothing riding on this game, but you know what I remembered? That this is a dress rehearsal for the Community Shield. Yeah, because they will be playing each other the first game of the season, the Community Shield, where the FA Cup winner and the Premier League winner will be meeting. So this is going to be an interesting one. And Crystal Palace, from what they showed in their game immediately after that win of the FA Cup, means that they're not just backing down and say, we've won a trophy, so we'll just rest. Nah. And Liverpool have been showing signs of that since they won the league. They have been very, very lackluster. They haven't actually won a game since they won the league. They've drawn and they've lost. So let's see what happens in this final game of the season. They finally will have their celebration at the end of the game, their trophy parade and all that, and given the trophy at the end of the game. So that might play on their mind and say, look, we need to finish on a high and make sure we don't lose this game and go and celebrate a trophy now. So that's the only reason I feel this game will be a very interesting game to watch. But I see this game finishing in a draw, and I am going for a 2-2 draw. And Yema also thinks it will be a 2-2 draw. But Osita and Chris, they both think Liverpool would have enough to win the game, and they both think it will be a 2-1 win to Liverpool. We'll see how that one goes. Man United versus Aston Villa. Man United, after that poor showing in the Europa League final, what are they going to do in this game? They could end up finishing the season at 17th if they lose this game against Aston Villa. So you're not sure what's going to happen. Are they going to turn up? But I feel they probably still be hurting from this Europa League game, that it would affect this game. And Aston Villa are fighting for something, so Aston Villa will be fired up to make sure they get what they need at Old Trafford. So I see Aston Villa beating Man United 3-1 away from home. And Chris also believes that as well. He's gone for 3-1 as well. And Osita has gone for 2-2, that it'll finish in a draw. But Yema believes Man United would win. We'll see. We'll see how that one pans out. Yep. Newcastle versus Everton. Newcastle versus Everton. Newcastle are trying to make sure they secure their spots in Europe. So that's the only thing riding on this game. That's the only thing riding on this game. So I am going to say Newcastle will have enough. I'm not sure if Isak is playing though, but I still feel they'll have enough to win the game 3-2. 3-2. And Chris also shares that same sentiment. Chris thinks that Newcastle will beat Everton 3-1. Osita thinks Everton will have enough to steal a draw at St. James's Park. So he thinks 2-2. But Yema believes Newcastle would win 1-0. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. And the biggest game this weekend, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Both fighting for that spot. And it'll be interesting to see how this one ends. And because of that, it's difficult for me to call who would win this one. I'm sitting on the fence because I feel both teams, they know the importance of this game. I feel Forest might just have the edge, but then again, I think Chelsea might know, based on experience, what to do. Nottingham Forest haven't been in this position before, so they might struggle. So I see this game finishing in a draw. I see this game finishing in a draw. In fact, I'm the only one from guys so far who thinks it will finish in a draw. Osita thinks Chelsea, obviously he's a Chelsea fan, thinks Chelsea will do the business. So does Yema. They both think Chelsea would win 2-1. And Chris thinks Nottingham Forest would have enough to win, and they would win 3-2. So we'll see how that one goes. Everyone different opinions on that one as well. Well, we'll see. Southampton versus Arsenal. Southampton, Arsenal. So Arsenal, the last game away from home at St. Mary's. We'll see how that one goes. And I feel Arsenal, Arsenal always do this when you least expect anything. They'll come out and bang you on the last day. I remember one season where they beat Everton 5-1 on the last day. I see this game being something similar, where they would go out and score loads of goals. Well, I hope they do. I feel this one, they would win 4-1 away from home. Southampton already relegated, and they've already secured that point that they needed not to be the worst team. So they might not need to do it in this game. So I see them losing 4-1 to Arsenal. And everyone so far thinks the same. Osita has gone for 4-0. Chris has gone for 3-0. Yema's gone for 3-0. So I'm the only one who's even giving them a shot at getting a goal. But every other person thinks Arsenal will keep a clean sheet. And Arsenal needs to keep a clean sheet, actually, because if Raya gets a clean sheet and Forest Smart Cells concedes, Raya could win the Golden Glove with the most clean sheets. So this game, there's something riding on it for the goalkeepers. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Yeah. Tottenham versus Brighton Hove Albion. An interesting game. Tottenham, the Europa League winners. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they are, and credit to them. So let's give them a hand. Well done, Tottenham, for doing the job. Although it was a very, very poor game from both of you, but who cares? I'm sure the Tottenham fans won't care. They got the job done, they won a trophy, and it's in the bag. Yeah, so you're not sure if Tottenham will turn up. Are they going to make it 22 losses in the season? Or are they going to try and make sure they give their fans something to cheer about even after winning the Europa League? Let's see what happens in this game. But I'm thinking Brighton, they're looking to get something in Europe as well, I believe. So I see Brighton causing an upset and beating Tottenham 2-0. I see Tottenham losing 2-0. Yema thinks the same. Yema thinks they would lose 2-0 as well. Osita thinks they would lose, but they would score 1. So he thinks 3-1. And Chris thinks 2-2, that the match would finish in a draw. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. And the final game, Wolves versus Brentford. Wolves versus Brentford. Brentford, the forward line has been amazing this season. Wissa and Mbeumo, both on 19 goals, I believe. What an achievement for both players, man. Honestly, they're the deadliest force this season. Both of them getting that amount of goals, the same amount. Not one scoring 20 and the other one 5 or so. No, both on. So you can tell the intensity at which they've been going into every game. So Wolves, on the other hand, they've been, relaxing a bit since they made sure they qualified, to make sure they're not going down. Since they made sure they were staying up. So, because they're playing at home, I am going to give Wolves a chance to win this game. And I'm saying Wolves might just beat Brentford by a slim margin, 1-0. But I'm the only one thinking Wolves will win the game, because every other person so far, Osita, Chris and Yema, think Brentford will win the game. And Yema and Chris think that the game would finish 3-1. Osita thinks it will finish 2-1. So that'll be an interesting game to see how that one finishes. So what are your predictions for the final games of the season? Let us know in the comment section, guys. And I'm sure it will be an interesting time. Come next time, we would know who has qualified for what positions in Europe and all that. So that brings us to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.
Don't check this.